I am Cuauhtémoc, proud and noble leader of men, king of an empire, civilized beyond the dreams of the Gachupin Cortez, who was also the blood, the image of myself.
I am a custodian with the City of Sacramento, and among other things, I'm also the official crawdad for the Crawdad Festival. And this year I'm going to be the pear at the Pear Fair. And on Memorial Day, I was at the Mexican American Memorial and reading poetry there. The story goes like this. I was babysitting for two women in Pasadena, and they were going to go to drama rehearsal one night, and they asked me if I wanted to come along. So I said, sure, why not? So I'm sitting in the audience while everyone is warming up when the director then looked at me and says, hey, come on up and join us. I said, no, I'm just here to watch. He goes, no, come on. So I started exercising with the group. Then he gave me some lines to go ahead and recite, basically memorize. And so I started memorizing the lines, but the thing was that I could not remember my cue on where I was gonna come in. So I decided it would be a lot easier if I just memorized the whole poem. The poem was actually a part of a play. It was performed by the group called El Barrio Teatro Ensemble. The director of the group, I think a lot of you will come to remember, is Uncle Emilio from Sesame Street. We had ballet folklorico, we had the slideshow, we had mariachis, and basically it was a whole production. It lasted 90 minutes. So we took what was probably a 15-minute poem and lengthened it to an hour and a half. In 1970, the production company was supposed to come down to Pasadena City College to do the play, but the group was late, and there was 1,500 people in the auditorium, and they started becoming restless. There was fights that were breaking out in the back, and this was for Cinco de Mayo. So what I did was I went out onto the stage and started doing the poem. And since then, I've been doing the poem because I guess you could say I fell in love with the poem.
I am Joaquin. I rode with Pancho Villa, crude and warm, a tornado of full strength, nourished and inspired by the passion and the fire of all his earthly people. I'm Emiliano Zapata. This land, this earth, is ours. The mountains, the villages, the streams belong to Zapatistas.
The meaning behind the title of the poem is that we are the same. Joaquin is just a name that's used to go ahead to bring everyone together. Joaquin is the woman down on the corner. You are Joaquin. I am Joaquin. We all are Joaquin. It's a very historical poem. It's a poem that probably is the cornerstone of the Chicano movement. The poem was written by Rodolfo Corky Gonzalez. In fact, I was in the play when we performed for him at Caltech University. He was a guest speaker, so we went out there to go and do the poem, and we did the whole thing, and we had him in tears. But the poem, to me, is too much of a historical document that I just don't want to see it get dusty on a library shelf. A lot of the people that are identified in the poem that people would know right offhand would be like Emiliano Zapata, Pancho Villa, Father Hidalgo. If people see, well, wait a minute, who were these people? Then they can Google them up and find out the history that way. I have been reciting the poem since 1970. So I guess we're going on 39 years? I like to think of myself as a custodian of the poem because I want to be able to spread the word and keep it going on. I want to be able to ring that bell and tell people, hey, this is our history. I'd like to take this poem into the prisons because I think that that's where they need a lot of enlightenment. They need to say, hey, we got to stop fighting amongst each other. We need to do something more positive.
I fought and died with Don Benito Juarez, guardian of the Constitution, I was he on dusty roads and barren lands, as he protected his archives, as Moses did his sacraments. He held his Mexico in his hand on the most desolate, remote ground which was his country. And this giant little Zapotec gave not one palm's breadth of his country's land to kings or monarchs or presidents of foreign powers.
Every time I do the poem, I dedicate it to Corky Gonzalez, who passed away a couple years ago. And I also dedicate it to my wife, who passed away this last December. And she has been so helpful to me spiritually that I just, words cannot express, her helping me, but she's there, she's here, and she's here.
I am Despots Diaz and Huerta, and the apostle of democracy, Francisco Madera. I am the black-shawled faithful women who live with me or die.